Alright, so I had to plug my phone in. It's almost dead. It's at 13% charge now, which is good. My autism advocate lady called twice, but she doesn't do what you think that she's supposed to do.
Hello?
Hey Meg, sorry I missed your call. I tried answering it, but the phone died.
That's okay. I was just going to call and tell you that I did talk to Star for about 40 minutes. We just got off the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I didn't know. I asked, she apparently is coming to see you.
Yes, ma'am. She's trying.
Yeah.
She drove all the way to Chapel, Nebraska from Georgia to try to help me.
Yeah, that's what she said. And so, did you, I guess I don't know where to start. I kind of told her what we had done and how much, you have done for the last 9 months. Well, 4 years, but since I've done 9 months. And then she said that there's a money issue or something that she's working out so that she can come again.
Yeah. Well, all of my money, I had to bail myself out of the jail in Scottsbluff. I should have never been in Scottsbluff. I should have been talking to the state patrol with somebody present. But instead, Scott pulled his BS. I had to spend all my money to bail myself out of jail. I only had $200 left after that. And then when I finally got my payment in, I had to spend that to bail myself out of jail again, another $750. So that was all of my money for January that I had to live on. It was spent before January ever showed up. And then I got my stimulus, $600. I sent $400 of it to Star, but it didn't get there because of the PayPal issue. And then once PayPal has it, sorry,
That's okay.
we transferred it from my PayPal to hers, or tried to transfer it to her PayPal, and it wouldn't let it go through. And then it said that it did finally go through after 3 days, and now she has to wait even longer. I have court on the 12th, and God, what a pain.
Yeah, that's what she said, that you had a court date coming up that she was wanting to be there.
I have 2 court dates, actually, one on the 12th and one on the 21st. The one on the 12th is in Colorado, and the one on the 21st is in Nebraska.
Okay, in Chapel?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm not sure. Did she tell you at all about Amanda? Did she tell you at all about that state patrol officer that you sent that letter to?
Oh, about Jones?
Yeah.
She just told me that she had talked to her and that she was with you when you were in Colorado, and that the people that you guys talked to, that they really weren't helping you, and that they she said they just basically didn't want to help and weren't going to do anything.
Yeah.
And it didn't really get you anywhere. And then she said that you guys had been told that there were no local warrants, but turns out there was still local warrants.
We were told there was no warrants.
Right.
She was told there was no warrants, and I have Scott DaCosta recorded saying that I have no warrants.
And I told her that I had been told you had no warrants either. No local or state warrants either. And I said that's what I was told as well.
Well, we checked them nationwide. That's the thing, is that they don't tell the truth. And they say, oh, well, you need to go to the cops. I'm like, how the hell can I trust the cops when all they do is lie to me? Pardon my French. It does create a bit of an issue there. I mean, I don't see how other people don't have as big of an issue with it as I do. Who likes being lied to?
Yeah. So she said that because I don't remember where she said was it either Arapahoe County or Larimer maybe, where they ended up saying, yeah, you do have a warrant, and you had to go to jail for that.
Well, I got arrested in Logan County, just 13 miles across the border, and they took me in on a warrant, two of them for Arapahoe County and one of them for Larimer County. And this is all over the situation with Natalie Bollinger that everybody wants to pretend doesn't fucking exist. Pardon my French.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
Natalie Bollinger. Have you looked her name up on the internet?
Yeah, you told me about that.
She's a real human being that actually existed. It's not like this situation is a figment of my imagination and Natalie is some imaginary creature like the Easter Bunny or Jesus or something.
Right.
And I know a lot of people believe in Jesus. I do believe in the Jesus. I just don't believe in the same Jesus as everybody else. But yeah, I mean, the thing is that I went to the state patrol about a safety issue, and they have harmed me repeatedly over the safety issues that I have, trying to pretend that I'm trying to kill myself. Like, no, I'm telling you there's a safety issue with me being in Colorado with all the things that the police have done. Like, I can't trust the police. They they literally tried to frame me for a murder that I didn't commit, and afterwards they just kept their teeth in there. The thing about Larimer County, the warrant that I literally just paid off to get out so that I can have court on the 12th. Yeah, that's the worst possible situation for me. That's the situation at Clearview. I was charged with assault for being assaulted for trying to turn in Officer Whale and Lolatai for assaulting me. They shipped me out of county, and it sucked. And they do that repeatedly. Every time I try to turn a police officer in, they send me to a different jurisdiction. And then they say, oh, well, we can't take your report. It's a different jurisdiction. You got to get a hold of these people and those people. And I literally have 3.5 hours worth of recordings in about a week and a half period of Dual County telling me that they can't investigate themselves, that I got to get a hold of the state patrol. I get a hold of the state patrol, and they say they can't investigate a they can't investigate Dual County. I have to go to Dual County to get that taken care of. Like, how is that supposed to work?
Yeah.
And then they keep telling me I got to call this other number for um, legal aid, and I've called them repeatedly without somebody in person making these calls with me and verifying it. It's literally just their word versus mine, and that sucks because I have all this evidence. I mean, the thing with getting an advocate is I needed help in person so that I could make reports in person, so I could talk to the police without being afraid of being harmed, especially when I got to talk to police who have a history of harming me. Like the stuff that you told Deputy Holloway about how his idea or whatever of you was wrong. Like, even after you told him that, he still continued.
Yeah.
So obviously, he knew that that narrative was wrong, and he's still playing it. Is there somebody else talking in the background there, or am I catching some static?
It's static and it sounds weird. There's like beeps that I keep hearing too. Is that with you?
No.
There's like 3 beeps. It sounds like a microwave almost.
There is a microwave that ended, but what I'm hearing is it sounds like there's a male's voice in the background.
No, I'm in the room by myself. But I keep hearing this distorted, like every once in a while, it's like this distorted sound. I thought it was your end.
Well, I'm pulling my dinner out of the microwave. It was on and it was beeping.
So, no, I'm by myself. So, go ahead. You're still fucking.
Well, I'm overwhelmed with this because like I shouldn't have to go to my predators to ask for help, and I've had to do that repeatedly since this started.
Yeah.
They're playing real heavy on public opinion, and that's why I can't get an honest court date. Like they pretend like autistic people are all violent friggin' morons who don't know what's going on, and that's just not the case. I mean, I know a lot of people who are immodal who are still more intelligent than just about anybody else I know, and they can't even speak.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to grow up in special ed and in the system. I grew up with minorities. I grew up with screwed up kids. I grew up with, well, I'm not the idiot they play me out to be. And they keep pretending that I'm insane so they don't have to take a police report. And then they assault the shit out of me. And then they pretend that I'm perfectly sane. Like, come on, you guys need to make up your minds. You need to either take my police report or you need to friggin' kill me. You know, I mean, this is a slow, painful death for me. I don't have the money to take care of myself, and I get treated like I'm some sort of piece of shit for asking for help for things that I can't do myself.
Yeah.
I'd like to be able to do those things myself. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody but me.
Yeah, I understand.
So I don't know. Star had a good idea about me going to the East Coast. It's a little closer to Natalie's other side of the family than I'd like to be, but after the shit they put me through, yet I don't care if they're 50 miles away, 100 miles away, 150 miles away, as long as they keep their nasty cockbeaters off of me.
Yeah.
I'm tired of people assaulting me, and I'm tired of people threatening me, and I was assaulted repeatedly in the Larimer County Jail. They enjoy the shit out of laughing at me while pretending all sorts of crazy shit. Like, when somebody puts you on suicide watch because they're a guard and you tried to tell on them, it sucks. Because
Yeah.
now they're harming you because you're trying to get help. Getting made fun of, like if you're actually suicidal, is it appropriate for them to laugh at you? Is it
Yeah.
appropriate for them to make jokes at you? Is it
No.
appropriate for them to tell you that you can't be angry? Meanwhile, they're screaming at the top of their lungs, 3-on-1, strapping you to a chair, physically harming you? That is not okay. I needed help for safety issues, not safety for my fucking self.
Yeah.
On the bright side, at least I got this cup of half coffee. So
Go ahead.
the situation I'm dealing with is the ones that you sent my Aunt Mary. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get those. My Aunt Mary is very opinionated, and she's probably going to have wants, and those wants are probably going to be things that I don't have the time for. I got court on the 12th.
Yeah.
She is real fond of doing that, and so is my dad.
Is there a place I could mail new copies to you?
I don't know.
Uh,
See, that's the thing. You can send them to my P.O. box. Those will go to the guy that I was staying with.
Did you hear that? That's that weird sound.
Yeah. Um, let me see. Ah. It was my Aunt Mary text messaging me. She typed.
Oh.
That was about the. You said that you sent 2 copies to her.
Uh-huh.
She messaged me. It says. I typed, "Are there 2 envelopes for me on your front porch?" She typed, "No." Then I checked the mail at 3 p.m. There was no mail. I'm not going to box tonight. We'll check tomorrow. I'm in bed.
Well, let me go check the date so you can respond to it, because it was left on her front door. Let me look. It was left on her front door on December 28th at 2:25 p.m. And it's a UPS ground envelope, one single envelope that had 2 letters in it. So it's from UPS, and she got it on the 28th of December at 2:25.
All right, I will.
And the other 2, I know Roland signed for it himself on the 30th, and on December 30th, and then the state patrol was received on the 29th of December.
All right, so Judge Randon Rowland signed for his on the 28th.
Yeah, let me get the exact time. It was received by Roland, left with him on 12/30/20 at 1:41 p.m.
All right.
And then the state patrol was on December 29th, 2020 at 12:32 p.m. That was received by, the last name is Leeling, L as in Larry, E-E, L as in Larry, I-N-G, at the front desk at the Scottsbluff office.
All right.
I did not have your Aunt Mary's. It didn't require signatures because it was so much more money. And I just figured she would not she would get it. The other 2 I required signatures on. So
Yes,
that we would know who signed for it.
Yes, ma'am.
I'll send 2 more copies to the P.O. box.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for that.
Yep.
I'm sorry that's all so much of a pain in the butt. I mean, I've been trying. All this distance is making it impossible, and I didn't choose the distance.
Yeah. I'll send those tomorrow mail to the P.O. box. Also, on the Judge Rowland one, I did give him my cell number.
Yes, ma'am.
In case he had questions, he could call me.
I'm not even sure who my judge is supposed to be. I just know that I've gone to everybody else. Both the county prosecutors, I've spoken with both of them. The one that was here before, his name is Joel J., and he never should have been a county prosecutor, let alone become a judge. He's a judge now. That sucks.
Yeah. So, can I ask you about the 2 court dates and see if there's anything I can do to... One thing I talked to Star about was, I said if there's any way that it would help you and her be more efficient with your time while she's there, I could be making calls ahead of you guys and getting things set up, so that you're not doing that too. She thought that was a good idea. I don't know. What do you think?
Yes, ma'am. That's a good start. I mean, I don't even know who to call. I've called so many places by myself, but I just end up with 10,000 calls that are sitting on my computer so that I can prove that I made the calls. But who do I show them to?
One question I had is, because she's waiting on the money to come through to her account, even though she thinks she might still make it by the 12th. Is there somebody? The first one on the 12th is Larimer County, right?
Yep.
And so I didn't know if there's somebody at the Larimer County Court that I could call. I'll try to figure that out if you want me to call on your behalf.
Yes, ma'am. I don't even have a public defender. That's the thing, is that I need help in person just to be able to process this. And nobody understands the processing issues. Like, it's not a choice. It's a disability. If I'm overwhelmed, this is how it gets. If I'm scared, and obviously I have good reason to be scared, there's plenty of threats and plenty of assaults that I got evidence of. Obviously, the police aren't looking at it. I mean, I really tried. I did, but they keep using all of this to literally what they did is try to pile on crimes on me so that they could prevent me from being able to speak out in court because they were trying to frame me for murder. And afterwards, they just did everything they could to make sure that I can't show this. Like, there's hundreds of people, there's at least 2 to 3 dozen that there is so much personal information that I literally can't post anything up about them. Some of them are some of them are in some very dangerous positions. A lot of them have kids. I mean, and they do legit have to worry about the police coming and harassing them and threatening their kids, and they've done so repeatedly. Instead of treating me like I'm a wingnut, people need to actually look at the evidence. And Star, she got to look at some of the evidence, and she also got to take part in some of the situation. You know, I mean, at least she's a witness. But getting here in time, that's the major issue. I tried sending the money. I don't have any money in my account. It's all got sent out to try to get her here. Well, I have 125 left because we weren't able to send that out.
She was telling me that for her it's a new PayPal account, and I don't know much about PayPal. I've used it a couple times. Venmo is a lot faster, but it's not going to help you now. But PayPal, I think it can take up to 2 days for it to hit her account. So I'm hoping that she'll see it tomorrow. Because she said it's been a couple days.
Well, I'm not able to take care of myself. If
Yeah.
anybody can explain that to the courts, I literally cannot take care of myself. I cannot defend myself. I can't go to these appointments. I literally can't do anything.
Yeah.
Because of the things that they have done to me. I literally can't. I can't do anything until Star gets here.
Yeah. So, would it be okay if I called? Do you mind if I called the Larimer County Courts and try to see if we can get it moved?
Yes, ma'am, you can do that.
Okay. I'll just start by calling the courthouse and see where I can get. So you haven't been assigned a public defender then?
I haven't.
Okay.
I have to have somebody here to help me with that.
Yeah. So they're asking you to find your own public defender?
Yeah, they told me I gotta go to the public defender's office and fill out some paperwork. But the public defender's office is that would be in Loveland. But the public defender's office isn't open because of COVID. So it's all through the telephone or online, and I can't do this stuff online. I'm trying. I end up screwed every time.
Yeah. I was trying to
Sending
write this
Star
down
my
as tell me
money.
so that I can make the right calls at the right time.
Yes, ma'am. Well, I got court on Tuesday in Larimer, and
And you're in Colorado now?
yeah. Although, according to my paperwork, see, we made our decisions based on what it is the state patrol had said, but what Scott DaCosta was pulling was completely different. So they will possibly arrest me at Arapahoe County or in Larimer County, and either send me to Arapahoe County, who doesn't want me because of COVID, or send me to Dual County to be dealt with by the police there. But Dual County Jail isn't in Dual County. That's part of the way they get away with all the stuff they do. They just send you to another county, or the other county, the officers say, oh, well, it's not our problem, not our fault. They're just holding you for Dual County.
Okay. The public defender's office is in Loveland.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ma'am, I spent most of that $12,000 on important stuff so that I could actually take care of myself. I bought a vehicle with it, and I bought the parts to fix that vehicle. I just needed help fixing it. I just needed help. That's what I needed. My back is too screwed up for me to do those things for myself, and instead of helping me to do those things, I get abused. And that's not okay.
Yeah.
It has destroyed every friendship that I had, and people keep telling me to move. Explaining to people that I've moved over 40 times in 4 years. Please stop asking me to move.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That's what I said in that letter. Why you didn't, why you couldn't move, because you needed the resources to be able to move, and all those things. Yeah.
God, I wish. See, that's the thing, is that this whole time I shouldn't have had to go back to DeCosta after the shit that he pulled. The state patrol wouldn't let me turn in DeCosta to them. I had to turn him in to himself, and that has happened to me repeatedly. I am sick and tired of having to turn in officers to those very officers. It's like saying, oh, well, Hitler's killing a bunch of Jews. Well, I better go to Hitler and ask him to stop killing Jews.
Yeah.
Hey, Hitler, will you investigate yourself and throw yourself in the oven? So I'm pretty overwhelmed with all this.
Yeah. I understand.
I don't want to post the stuff up on the internet most of the time. I mean, most of the stuff that I recorded, it's never been on the internet. It's just sitting here on my computer waiting for somebody to look at it.
Yeah.
I told true stories, and although I don't show the whole truth on the internet, it's because it takes a lot of processing to do that. It takes a lot of editing skills that I don't have, and I could break it up into little bits and pieces and throw it in as a timeline, and everybody would understand it. The problem is I don't have the technical skills to do that. I got proof that I tried to do it over the internet repeatedly, and it didn't work. I have other people who tried to help me who also couldn't get it to work. And all that plays in the favor of my predators because they just say I didn't try, and lo and behold, they get to hang me like I'm a liar.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's my dinner. I got raviolis. Microwave raviolis are pretty alright. I kind of like them better cold, though.
You do like it better cold?
Well, I don't know. Actually, when I was a kid, uh, beef ravioli was like, that was like getting hot dogs and macaroni. That was when you were rich.
Yeah.
So when we had raviolis, I wanted to have my full can instead of having it put in with everybody else's because my older brother ended up eating most of it, and then I was hungry most of the night, so I just ate mine out of a can. But I didn't get to go on home leave very often. They don't
Yeah.
really let you go back to see your mom when she's got busted for the sixth or seventh time for cocaine. I don't know how many times. Dad told me it was a lot, but I don't know for certain. But like all growing up, they kept telling me, well, your mom's going to come get you this weekend. Your mom's going to come see you this weekend. And then she just never showed up. So I'm pretty used to that kind of stuff. I'm used to being thrown away. I'm used to, well, both of my parents fought over me when it came to custody because I was worth a lot of money. Whoever had me got paid by the government for having me. So my mom and my dad fought over that for a lot of years.
Yeah.
I should probably let you go, I guess, so you can get stuff done. Plus, it's like 7:30 at night.
Yeah. Well, so it's okay with you? I just want to make sure I'm not making calls you don't want me to make. I can go ahead and try to call the Larimer County Court. Do you want me to see if I can figure out the 21st court too?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I don't know if they'll talk to me without you, but I'll try and see if I can. One thing I told Star was, I said if I can. She wanted me to call DHHS, but I didn't really understand the whole story of what's going on with DHHS. Something about wellness checks or something.
All right, the guy that I was staying with in Chapel.
Uh-huh.
After Scott pulled all of his stuff and I was in jail, people have been apparently calling Department of Health and Human Services and saying that I'm at Dallas is trying to kill myself, and that's definitely not the case. I'm not there. But
Yeah.
he tried sending me the numbers to the people that were saying that. There's like three or four of them, and he wasn't sure which one it was exactly. But he hasn't tried resending them. And the first time he tried sending them, they just didn't take. So it says messages expired or something like that on my phone. So those never showed up. So I don't even know what phone numbers they're from. The thing is that, that's something that Scott DaCosta is definitely. All of these officers know how to get away with breaking the law. That's the thing that sucks. They know exactly what to say to make it okay. And a lot of the times, I'm trying to explain to them that I can't take care of myself because of the things that have been done to me, and that people have bullied me to the point that I want my life to end, and I need it to stop. I need to be able to be allowed to have a life, but that's not going to happen as long as bad police officers are doing the bad things that they're doing. I'm still a human being, regardless of what narrative they're selling, and that needs to be. I'm not a monster and I'm not an animal, and they need to stop treating me like one. I don't want to hurt anybody, so I don't. If they don't put those drugs in me, nobody gets hurt. But once they put those drugs in me, I mean, it's a whole different world. You can't put those medications in my body. It doesn't work. And then when they put the disassociative with it, that's what ketamine is a disassociative. Like, that's not going to help anybody out. I'm trying to make a police report, and they're giving me drugs that are making it so that I'm literally not there mentally. All I could see was yellow, and that was it.
Uh,
I don't know what to do about all this. I just know that having to do this without somebody in person is the biggest issue that I have to deal with on any day. Like right
yeah.
now, the guy that I'm staying with at his place here in Colorado, like he's not here. He's not going to be here for a couple of days, so I'm stuck here by myself, and I'm trying not to be overwhelmed.
Yeah. Well, um, so she said she was going to call DHHS or something. So I said I could try too, but I wasn't sure. But now that helps me know what's going on. Good.
Well, the thing is, my
Yeah.
my safety needs to be a consideration at some point.
Yeah.
Having to go to police officers who did wrong things and got away with it by calling me mentally ill, like after 4 years, you'd think somebody would find the time to go in with me and make them look at the evidence. But all they had to do when they realized that I was gonna continue until they left me alone. Like, they just went out of their way to make sure that they do not look at any evidence. And then they got plausible deniability. Oh, well, I never saw it, so it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's not okay, though. I mean, when you're a disabled person and you need help, and you need somebody to go in with you because it is unsafe for you to talk to the police, there needs to be someone who can go in with you to talk to the police. I started trying to talk to the cops over a year before Natalie was killed. I mean, the first time that I talked to the cops in Chapel, Nebraska about it was January 8th of 2017. January 7th of 2017, something like that. The first time that I talked to cops in Boulder was the day I got back to Boulder from Virginia. That was in 2016.
Yeah. I don't want to keep you if your food's hot. I wanted to figure out which court dates, if there's calls I can make to try to help you and her,
Yes,
especially if we
ma'am.
can buy a little bit of time. Um, that I would do that.
Yes, ma'am. If she can help me go through some of this, and she can if she's here in person. She doesn't have a strong voice, so it's difficult for her. So that's kind of difficult, especially if she's put on the spot. She doesn't really know what to do. That's why it's important to show the evidence before we have to make those calls. That way she's not just, being put on the spot.
Yeah. When you have time, maybe after you eat, or maybe, I don't know about tomorrow, but if there's any other things with warrants that I can try to help figure out, just so you get all those off your back, and so you're safer, let me know.
Yes, ma'am. I don't know where any of them are at. That's the thing. The three places in Colorado that I thought I would have issues, yes, I have issues here. Those three places, yes, those issues still exist, and obviously, based on the recent arrest, I wasn't full of shit about that.
Yeah. I wish there was some way. I wish I knew somebody in law enforcement that I knew that I could trust, so I could find out how do you find out local warrants. There's got to be some way you can search for that. I just don't know how.
Well, that's the thing, is that they did search for it and they were dishonest about it. So I got like 6 friends that used to be law enforcement. They won't go into law enforcement again because they don't trust law enforcement.
Yeah.
They also won't help me because they're afraid of law enforcement. That says a lot coming from former law enforcement.
Yeah.
But yes, ma'am, I'll try to think of as much as I can. I mean, I'm looking at a couple of huge piles of paperwork on either side of me. I got 2 computers in front of me. One of them is completely full of evidence. I got 3 phones that are completely full of evidence. I got an iPad that is completely full of evidence. I mean, I have everything needed to take down the entire government, basically. Not literally, but a lot of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to eat and let you have a break from me. I'm sorry for talking so much.
No, that's okay. Thanks for talking. Talk to you later.
Yes, ma'am. Be safe.
Bye. Bye.
Aunt Mary, comma. It was delivered by UPS on the 28th of December. Period. There would have been 2 letters in it from Nebraska. Period.